Dear 15-year-old me, no one can build you the bridge on which you, and only you, must cross the river of life, young Nietzsche wrote as he contemplated the terrible struggle with which everyone must grapple in order to carve out who they are. Most people fail at this. You know it. You see it every day, in people's faces as they jolt down a car-crammed road, the haggard mothers with their wailing kids, and the gray workers pushing endless papers in fluorescent cubicles. It is our human instinct to be afraid, to stand out, and to follow others, but by doing that, you will never know the sweetness of victory nor the bitterness of defeat, and that is a bad thing. For all good things come from courage. You come from a people made of grace and steel, so it is already in you. Be foolish, kind, and generous every day. Here's what I want you to know. You did it. I'm going to describe the person you become so you know the splendor that awaits. As the sky becomes a canvas of fire, the colors seem to drip down from the sky to tinge the coral, tangerine, and gold. You remember being amazed as a toddler by all of the vibrant reef colors in Finding Nemo and wishing you could dive into the screen, for the only ocean you know was gray and cold and devoid of life and color. But now, the sea is a giant aquarium. Boyan and I have cleaned it completely. He with his floating screen that harnesses ocean currents to collect all its plastic, and you with your paintbrush and pen to call people to care. Jacques Cousteau once said, "People protect what they love." So you created an online scavenger hunt to illuminate the beauty in the sea. As people surfed the net, an endangered humpback whale or barking porpoise would splash onto your page for you to catch it and learn about it. And the first person to collect all 30 digital sea animals won a dive trip in the Great Blue Hole of Belize. It went viral, and people started caring about the sea and stopped pouring carbon into it that was bleaching our reefs bone white, and that by 2100 would have been so acidic it would turn our reefs into slime beds and leave our mollusks to wander without shell homes as the acid would dissolve them. Then you told them about the wonders of the deep sea, about the shipwrecks that are perfectly preserved from Homer's time, with ancient sailors still inside, rich honey dripping from ancient amphora, with carpenter's stamps, 10-foot-tall tube worms, and giant 650-degree chimneys spewing gold and copper, silver and zinc like confetti on the ocean floor. There is such beauty here, and because you are an artist and a storyteller, you were able to inspire people to care. And with this caring about the ocean came a caring for the entire planet and each other. Together we cleaned up both the oceans and the earth. While Boyan gobbled up the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, we still needed food. So we started building underwater farms. Since we valued people over profit, we made them open source, so anyone with $30,000, a boat, and 20 acres could start one. All we needed were enough farms to match the size of Washington State to feed the world, create biofuel, and capture carbon that ended up being 5 times more efficient than land plants. No one is hungry anymore, and since hunger lowers IQ, kids became smarter. The clean air helped too, as we discovered installing air filters raised kids' test scores, but now with our greener practices, we don't need them anymore. With rising education came better problem solvers, and with these came a population that could earn their own freedom. The sky reverberates with the song of birds now. From 1964 to 2020, 3 billion birds vanished, but because of what we learned from the pandemic, the warm air is filled with the delicate calls of tiny silver piping plover and the sleek black-capped roseate tern. The aroma of sweet saffron hope rushes towards you, and you bend your head as your eager pencil races across the damp page, your mind fluttering with golden butterflies of ideas. It is creamy emerald green spring now, and the spring of my hope for you. This letter is to show you the way. Yours, Angelina.